Good morning, children. Welcome to social class. Today we will continue with the topic Let us communicate. Session 2. Children, what did we learn last week? We have learned about definition of communication. Now what is meant by communication? Communication is sending and receiving spoken, written or virtual information from one person to another, and also different means of communication. Now how many means of communication are there? We have learned about the verbal and non-verbal in third class, personal and mass communication in today in this class. In children, last week we have covered about personal communication. Children, shall I ask you a question? How did the early man communicate earlier? He communicated by beating drums and using smoke signals. These are the things which we have covered last week. In today's session, we are going to say something else, something very interesting. Children, in the last session we have seen about personal communication. Now what are the different types of personal communication? By writing letters, telephone or mobile phone. These were the few examples what you have learned about the personal communication. Now moving on, here are the few examples of mass communication. What is the first one? The first one is the books. Second one is the newspaper. Third one is the old books, radio and television. These are the few examples of what mass communication. Children, today we are going to children in the mass communication. The first, what is mass communication? Mass communication is sending information to many people at a time. Means, see, one person can send information to all the people all over the world. That is mass communication. In mass communication, the first one is print media. Print media includes newspapers, books, magazines and journals, etc. And this is one of the easy and very famous means of mass communication. They play an important role in spreading knowledge, information, ideas, skills through words. Means print media is newspapers, right? Newspapers, we can just read them. We can't listen or hear. And not only that, we even in the newspaper and the books we see lot of pictures. By seeing those pictures also we can get some information. They are available in many languages, but the main disadvantage is those who are educated, those who are learned, only they can read newspaper. It is the best friend of human being. It helps in spreading knowledge, information, ideas and skills. Now, in the newspaper, there are newspapers are widespread among the literate. Literate are the people who are able to read and write. They bring us the latest information about news, about events, what is happening around the world. We not only this, we even know about the what are the new launches, or the what are the see for example, new mobile has been launched. If you don't have if you don't have TV or radio, by seeing the newspaper, we can know. We can even know the best deals what are in the shops. We even can read the stories. We even can know about the weather report. Newspapers are published in many languages, and the highest number of newspapers are published in Hindi. The first newspaper which was published in India was Bengal Gazette. Children, these are the few things what we can know about using or seeing the newspaper. Now the next one is books. Books give us lot of information. We can even read lot of stories from the books. And books are known as man's best friend. They are published in many languages. Books are written on many subjects or like social issues, means what is happening around the world, stories, novels, poems, biographies, religion. These are the few things what books, what information we can get from the books. Books not only entertain us but also give us a lot of information too. And children, you know, books can be carried anywhere and can be read any number of times. Journals and magazines. They are printed in many different languages and different topics on special information like women issues, children and health are published in the journals and magazines. Means they talk only about one topic. Like in the books and newspapers, we'll find the different topics, but these are the books, means full book contains only one topic. Now moving on to the next one, we have electronic media. See, in the picture given here are the few examples of electronic media. What is that? Mic, radio, transistor, television. These are the few examples of electronic media. Now, in the electronic media, the first and the foremost one is radio. Radio was invented by Guglielmo Marconi in the year 1895. It is the most popular method of mass communication. It was it is the fastest means of communication which uses only audio. Means we can only hear, we can't see what is happening. So that is the disadvantage of radio. Aeroplanes and ships use them to transmit the messages in danger. These are nothing but like small walkie-talkie children. It is cheap. It can be carried anywhere. It can be carried anywhere, and it even spreads knowledge and news in many regional languages. And children, not only that, nowadays in radios we are able to see live classes conducted. So, radio is one of the best means of mass communication. But what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is we can't see, only we can hear by using radio. Next is what? Television. We now in the next slide we are going to see about television. Television. Television was, see, in olden days these type of televisions were there. Television was invented by John Locke Bright in 1926. Television has more impact when compared to radio because we can both see and hear, and it is the most accepted and popular means of mass communication which uses both audio and video modes. It can reach viewer easily. It helps to watch live news like sports by sitting at the comfort of our home. Millions of people can see at one time. It is the favorite pastime of all the age groups. It is costly when compared to radio, and the disadvantage is it can't be carried anywhere. And national television in India is called Doordarshan. The disadvantages of television are it affects our eyes. If we watch television by sitting close to it, it wastes lot of our time. Sitting for a long time makes us physically unfit. And children, what is the next? Satellite. Satellite, see, children, without a satellite we can't transmit anything, means we can't pass on the information. An artificial satellite is man-made object which revolves around the earth. It is useful for transmitting news, to make calls, sounds and pictures. The India sent its first satellite into the space in 1975. It was named after the famous mathematician Aryabhatta. Children, till now we have learnt in mass communication about print media. What are the examples of print media? Books, newspaper, magazines and journals. Next we have learnt about radio and television. Now we are going to see about fax. A fax is a short for facsimile and sometimes called as telecopying. It is a telephonic transmission of scanned, imprinted material, text or image, usually to a telephone number associated with printer or any other output device. Fax uses telephone lines, and the fax can be sent to anyone at any place in the world. Next, we are going to see about computer. Computer was invented by Charles Babbage. It can be used to carry out any type of operation like math, storing, sending messages, etc. And not only that, computer is an electronic device which is used for sending messages, watching movies, playing games, shopping, and lot other things. Children, nowadays with this corona, computer has become one of the, like, it has become very important part in our life. But children, watching computer for a long time, it affects our physical and mental bodies. So we should be very careful in sitting and the computer. Next, we are going to see about what are the other two: teleconferencing and video conferencing. Teleconferencing is flexible as we do not need any video equipment. Means teleconference means having conducting conference without, means talking to many people at a time by using mobile phones or landlines or your computers without videos. It refers to holding a conference with a people, a group of people who are not at the same location but are connected to through telephones. Now going on with the video conferencing. Video conferencing refers to where we can hear and talk to the people who are not at the same place by seeing at them. These are used by computers. It depends upon our requirement. If we have to send an urgent message, what do you think of? We think of mobile phone. Everything has disadvantages and advantages. You should be careful in the way what you are using. Means even with the personal communication and mass communication, we have both advantages and disadvantages. But we should know what to use and when to use. Thank you and have a nice day, children. Stay home, stay safe.